My question is for Mr. MacKay. My name is Tyler McDonald, and I'm a musician. I have been most of my life, and I plan to make music my whole future. And I was just wondering, with all due respect, well, the Conservatives are cutting so many funds towards the arts, and the Prime Minister is referring to people who are seemingly pursuing a similar dream to mine as government-subsidized whiners. What would give people like me the motivation to vote Conservative?
Well, Tyler, first of all, great question. But with the greatest respect, the Prime Minister has never called artists elite whiners. That's not what he said at all. He said these galas that are broadcast on television give people the impression that this is an elite group. That's not aimed at artists. It's not aimed at individuals like yourself that play music, that have a passion for the arts. And I also have to correct one other point. The Conservative government has not cut funding to the arts. We have increased funding. $200 million more is in the budget of Heritage Canada today as a result of decisions taken by the Conservative government. That's fact. That's undisputable, no matter what others may say. $200 million more. It went from $3.1 billion to $3.3 billion. That money is there. Now what happens, as in every budget, as in departments that I run, as in health, as in other government departments, they very often have programs that expire, programs that need to be renewed, programs that were meant to receive certain funding for a certain result that weren't achieving those results. So they take money and they move it. CBC gets more money. Canadian Culture gets more money. Certain programs that deal with music, with film, get more money. And so the overall pool is larger. Certain specific programs may be smaller, may be eliminated, there may be new programs. And I've met with people like Troy Greencorn, who's head of the ECMAs. I've met with George Canyon, with people like Dave Gunning, with Fleur Mainville. These are people locally who have achieved international success because of funding that actually increased. And the ECMA awards, the money went up over the past number of years. That's undisputable, those are facts. It's a very emotional issue. It's one I personally feel very attached to because I know a lot of artists, I know a lot of very talented people who are making their living in the arts, and I personally support that effort wholeheartedly and will continue to do so. As long as I have anything to do with ACOA is going to continue to fund the ECMAs and fund other local artists, I can assure you of that.
Response, if you'd like. Just very briefly, with all due respect, Peter, money moves around within the Department of Heritage. It's moved out of arts and culture. It's moved into sports and some other community areas. The effect of cutting 16 programs within arts in the last year by your government means that Canadian theatre troupes that had this year, Nova Scotia theatre troupes, which have gone to New Zealand to perform original Nova Scotia playwright material, those programs have been canceled. That can't happen. The truck that used to deliver, there was a trucking service available to any art gallery to have climate-controlled shipping of exhibits between galleries, between exhibits. That's an important function and very expensive for small galleries. That's been canceled. The money to have Canadian intellectuals speak at international conferences so that the intellectual life and the vibrancy of our culture be reflected in international symposia, that's been canceled. These were cuts to the arts that were documented. If you go back to the Globe and Mail, you can find a reality check against the claims that Conservatives are making that they didn't cut arts. The overall budget of Heritage went up. They cut from arts, they gave to other things.
Sports are important too.